What are your thoughts on the expression, every man pays for sex?
I think every man pays for sex.
Men do pay for sex, even if they're in a relationship or they're married. In some ways, they're paying for sex, whenever they get it.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Crypto plus Passports equals Freedom. I'm your host, Ohini Mara. Before we get started, hit that like and subscribe button. Also, leave a comment and share this video so we can attack that YouTube algorithm and grow this channel. And with that, let's get into the topic. Today, we will be discussing part 2 of All Men Are Tricks. So guys, in the last video, we discussed how all men, whether they know it or not, are tricking on women. Whether you are spending time or money, you are paying. It doesn't matter if she is homeless, on drugs, a hood chick, or a trailer park girl, you are paying. Now, the ladies I just mentioned may not want much, but the common denominator is you are paying. I wanted to start this video discussing Briffault's law so you can understand I'm not just making this up. Many people in the social sciences field have explored and studied relationship dynamics and have reached the same conclusion, so let's talk about it. Briffault law maintains that the female, not the male, determines all the conditions of the animal family. Where the female can derive no benefit from association with the male, no such association takes place. Now, why is this important? Because before we even have this conversation, it is important for you to understand that women decide if a relationship is going to take place or not. Now, you can force yourself on her, but of course that is a crime, and you will be punished severely for that. Up until the time she welcomes you in, all you are trying to do is gain access. All you are trying to do is convince her that you are the best choice at the moment. Now, of course, once she selects you, you now have the power to accept or reject her invitation. But make no mistake, you must be offered the opportunity. Briffault law continues with 3 points to his law. The first one is, even though a woman has accrued past benefits from her relationship with a man, there's no guarantee of her continuing the relationship with him. The translation on that is, what have you done for me lately? As I said in a previous video, women are not interested in previous gifts. You have to constantly provide in order for your relationship to remain in good standing. The second rule is, if a woman promises a man to continue her relationship with him in the future in exchange for a benefit received from him today, her promise becomes null and void as soon as the benefit is rendered. So basically, this proves that all relationships are transactional. Everyone is looking for compensation in one way or another. The next one is, a man's promise of future benefit has limited ability to secure a continuing relationship with the woman, and his promise carries weight with her only to the extent that the woman's wait for the benefit is short and to the extent that she trusts him to keep his promise. Now, why are all of these laws important? Because it does not matter your perception of the situation. Just because you may not use actual cash, you still are paying. Whether it is a favor, being a handyman, bringing over party favors like drink and smoke, you are paying. You may not take her out to dinner, but you are using Postmates if she asks to order something. Bottom line, women offer nothing for free. So for those who disagree and think their game gets them action, or the guy that gets in a long-term relationship and think you're better than the pay-for-play guy, I am not only going to prove that you are all tricking, but I'm also going to prove that the pay-to-play guy is actually the smartest guy in the room. So let's start with the guy with game. If you are a silver-tongued game spitter using your words to get a lady to come home with you, you are paying with your time. Think about it. You have to introduce yourself, come up with witty lines. You have to ask her questions. You have to remember what she says. You have to get her comfortable with you before she decides to leave with you. If you do not close the deal that night, you have to keep in contact with her until she is willing to accept your offer. What I mean is, if you meet her on Saturday, and depending on where you meet her, you will have to invest at least 2 hours into conversation. If you are not able to get her to commit to coming home with you, you will now have to keep in contact with her until her next available date to get the ultimate prize. You are tricking, sir. You are giving her your time and attention, and you are working hard because between the time you guys meet and the event takes place, you are not allowed to say or do anything stupid. And if you do, the game is over. She will not allow you to have bedroom fun. And all that time was wasted. While you are not using finances to trick, you are using a more valuable asset, which is your time. Because while you can compensate a lady for some fun, you can always get that back, but you can never get your time back. Men may pay a price that cannot be quantified in monetary terms, highlighting the intrinsic value of time. Next, we have the relationship guy who foolishly believes relationships are free. He thinks if it is his girlfriend or his wife, he is getting it for free, when in reality, he is paying the highest cost financially. As the saying goes, the free girl is the most expensive. When getting into a monogamous relationship, you must consider the financial toll of this free relationship. While initially it begins with dates, it will later evolve into greater responsibilities. One aspect of the cost men bear in these type of relationships is the financial investment required to sustain them. From the early stages of courtship to the long-term commitment, men often find themselves responsible for expenses such as dates, vacations, trips, birthdays, holidays, anniversaries, and gifts. Additionally, there are ongoing financial obligations like contributing to the mortgage or rent, car payments, utilities, and various other unmentioned costs. While financial contributions are typically shared in healthy relationships, societal expectations and gender norms often place a heavier burden on men in these areas. Finally, let's talk about who I believe is the smartest guy in the room, the pay-for-play guy. The pay-for-play approach stands out for its emphasis on efficiency and directness. While other relationship paradigms involve investing time and effort in building emotional connections or honing seduction skills, the pay-to-play guy individual basically can bypass these steps. While other relationship paradigms involve investing time and effort in building emotional connections or honing seduction skills, the pay-for-play individual can bypass these steps. Instead of engaging in prolonged conversation or trying to establish emotional bonds, they promptly communicate their desires and negotiate an agreement. This directness allows for quick and straightforward interactions, ensuring that both parties are aware of each other's expectations from the outset. Time is a valuable resource, and the pay-for-play individual recognizes its worth. Unlike the game artist who spends considerable time and energy in pursuit of a connection, or the relationship guy who invests hours in building trust and emotional bonds, the pay-for-play approach minimizes time wasted on unnecessary interactions. By fast-forwarding to the desired outcome, individuals engage in this practice and save themselves lengthy courtship process and potential relationship pitfalls. The efficiency of the pay-for-play approach allows them to focus on their own priorities and goals without becoming entangled in extensive emotional investments. In contrast to the recurring financial responsibilities faced by those in committed relationships, the pay-for-play approach offers a simpler financial dynamic. Rather than shouldering the cost of dates, vacations, shared expenses, and potential child support or alimony, individuals engaging in pay-for-play transactions negotiate a one-time fee for desired services. This upfront agreement eliminates the ongoing financial obligations that can burden traditional relationship dynamics. From the perspective of financial management and predictability, this approach can be seen as advantageous. The pay-for-play approach is often associated with wealthy individuals who have the means to select and pay for specific services. By carefully choosing what they desire and compensating accordingly, they can ensure a mutually satisfactory exchange without becoming entangled in emotional or financial commitments. This selectivity allows individuals to prioritize their own needs and preferences without the constraints imposed by societal expectations or traditional relationship norms. In conclusion, whether you spit game, go through the relationship route, or pay to play, you are all tricking in one way or another. Something has to be paid. It doesn't matter what part of the world you are in or what you believe. One way or another, you are going to pay. So, gentlemen, that concludes part 2. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you agree or do you disagree? As a matter of fact, tell me what category you fall in. And with that, thank you so much for watching another session. And until next time, take care.